So unless you've been living under a rock for the last 2 years, ever since March of 2020 when the event happened, a lot of people took a strong interest in the concept of van life, which is kind of as it sounds, living in camper vans. And we thought, since we've had one for nearly 10 years now, it'd be an idea for us to finally give the world a quick tour of the inside and outside of an actual coach-built Volkswagen T4. Let's get started. So this one here is a genuine 91,000 miles Volkswagen T4, which is very, very low for one of these vans. Because this one started out as a camper van as opposed to being a builder's van or a work van converted into one, it's a very, very low miles engine, as you will see by the condition of it. Come on over here. Now tell me that's not one of the cleanest engine bays you've ever seen.
It's quite nice, yeah.
And that's just untouched. As you can tell by the surface rust and things on the rocker cover, it hasn't been prettied up. It's just naturally this clean. I'm not really sure what he's done to it because there's like a green wire here that doesn't really seem to go.
Yeah, that's like a U sort of wiring setup.
It is, well, it is my dad's van, so I guess I learned from the best, eh? How to bodge a job real well. So this is the 2.4 straight diesel, and what that means is while you are in a driving house, it is about as slow as an actual house. It is possibly the slowest thing I've ever driven. It will get up to 70 on the motorway if you give it enough time, but you can forget about overtaking anything. And people say, oh, that's not the point of a camper van. This is actually my dad's daily driver. You have to think of this as a car as well as a camper van for that very fact. I know a lot of camper vans aren't like that, but he drives this every day. So you kind of need a bit of poke, like.
Not at all.
If there was one thing I could change about this whole van, honestly, the only thing would be is I would put
turbocharger.
Yes, I'd put a TDI in it because they came with them. If this same van had the 2.5 TDI in it, it would be the most drivable thing ever. It would get way more economy. It would actually be better to drive. But now there is a reason why he doesn't want to do that. Now he's had this van nearly 10 years and he has absolutely no interest really in putting a turbocharger on it. And that is because reliability.
Yeah.
There is so little to go wrong with one of these 2.4 straight diesels. He's willing to put up with it being slow because he'll never stop.
That's like me with my 2.4 straight diesel.
Oh my God, you are joking me.
What's in there?
Now this is genuine for the camera. He's left a 2 on the skull.
Is that the grabber?
That is the grabber I just gave back to him. Like
that survived all the way through Donegal.
That we have literally today just arrived back from a 400 or 500 mile trip to Donegal. My God, that is survive, and that's one of the best tools he has. So that's for when you drop something down into the engine bay. You
would have seen that coming off of there. You'd have been like, what was that?
I would have done, but like. Bloody hell, I'm gonna have to put that in the van now. That's genuine, that's not planted for the camera. Holy shit, that has survived that trip. But that's one of the problems with an engine bay this big, is that it is very easy to forget things in it. Like, he's got power steering stop leak just sitting there just in case.
That's cool though.
Yeah, and then he's got a little work lamp sitting here. So just if he has to do something at night, he can clip it onto the battery and then he has a light. Yeah. Because he's not the type to use the phone torch. But yes, so the only actual problems with this van mechanically are it's got a really bad power steering leak.
Yeah.
It has survived this last trip. It's leaking less. He topped it up there, but the steering racks do give problems in them. They can start to go, and replacing a steering rack in a van is just not that easy, nor is it cheap. So he still hasn't done it yet. He's just been trying all of these cheap methods of not having to actually do it.
That is fair enough.
But yeah, nobody here really cares about the running gear of this thing, so let's get started into the cool stuff, which is inside. So the part that you all are here to see, let's be real, is the inside. Now, if it looks a little bit dated, it's because it is. Now, this is an original van. It was released in 2000, so it was probably built in 99 and coach built in that year. So, you know, the pattern is a little bit...
I think it's okay though, because this would have looked really dated 10 years ago, but now it's coming back into its own.
Is it?
No.
Have we? We haven't reached that depreciation curve yet, have we?
No.
Okay, where should we start? Hit me, Connor.
All right. If I wanted to sleep in this, what have I got?
Well, have I got a treat for you? Depends, what age are you?
20. Oh shit! I'll be 28 tomorrow.
You'll be
For
28
next
tomorrow.
day.
Right, okay, well then you probably want this one. So this van is fitted with a what's called rock and roll bed. And
Sounds very 70s.
It does, yeah. It's the Jimmy Page bed.
Oh dear.
When you open it, it goes, "Hey mama, said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove." Nah, yep, there you go. Watch us get copyright claim. So this is the rock and roll bed, and this is one big frame. And normally it would be a sofa when you're driving along, and there's actually 2 3-point seat belts, so it's fully legit. And annoyingly, it means you have to wear seat belts in the back when you're going down the road. But now that we're that bit older and I'm not 10 years old, I kind of like the idea of safety now.
Yeah.
But this, just literally grab and pull it out just as I did there now. Now, we lubricated it for the first time since Dad bought the van in about 10 years. It was getting really stiff and hard to move. And I shouted at him because he's never put any form of grease or WD-40 on it or whatever.
And what happened then?
Now it almost works too good. When you jam on the brakes, it actually moves a wee bit. It has stopped doing that now though, I think.
Good.
I think. But anyway, yes, so your cushions that would make up the back seat become what you lie on, and they are very, very comfortable, I must say. And they are about the height of your, well, I'm quite short, but I'm 5'6",
Yeah.
and, you know,
You could sleep there comfortably.
yeah, like 2 of us have slept in it recently, and there was tons of room.
Not 2 of us, just to clarify.
Yeah, not me and Connor. No. So, yeah, and then, well, I thought I'd have something to add there.
And then you wake up again.
And then you wake up again. Now, if you aren't, you know, 20-something years old and you have sprogs with you,
And the only way's up.
the only way is to put this back. See how easy that is? Just push it straight back. There's no levers, no nothing. Yes, if you do have weigh-ins with you, there is the option up here.
How does this work?
So this is how this works, because you've probably never seen this before.
No.
Probably. You've known this van from the day we've owned it, but you've never really been given a tour, so this is new to you.
And it's not a pop top, is it?
No, it is a high roof, so you are screwed in drive-throughs. No McDonald's in this thing, unfortunately.
Sad.
So you have 2 latches up here, which, being quite honest, look like they came off a gate or a bathroom in a house.
Oh yeah.
So you undo these. Now you kind of have to lift it a wee bit. They are pretty tight because this doesn't get used very often. And then this unit falls flat.
All right. Okay.
That is why you have these like shoulders coming down, which you constantly hit your head off when you're getting in and out of the van, and it's an absolute nightmare. But you can then pull this out, like the rock and roll bed, and then you would come under here, whoop, 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 whoop. Slide it all the way forward there,
Yeah.
and you would then lift your other wee pieces out,
Oh, and they fill it in.
and they fill the gap.
So then do you just climb up?
You just climb up in there. It is mainly for kids, like, I'll be honest.
It would be quite claustrophobic, I think, if you were.
Yeah, whenever we do go partying in this thing, we will have to probably play rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to sleep up here. But Dad was very afraid. It was like, oh, you couldn't have an adult up here, but these are very strong.
Oh, he thought you might fall through.
Yeah, it's a 4-berth van,
Yeah.
so it's bound to take 2 adults, 1 below, 1 up
Oh, it's
top.
bound to. If they said it was a 4-berth, it must take 4 fully grown adults.
I'm bound to, no, I mean,
You would if you were like morbidly obese.
who knows? But in an attempt to make it less claustrophobic, what they've done up here is they've given you your upper windows, which one flap there, push the button in on that one.
Oh, the button goes in, does it?
Yeah. And then that just goes out, and you can
Oh,
lock it.
that's quite nice, yeah.
You can lock it wherever you like then. And you have one of them on either side, and then you also have your skylight here.
Yeah. But when you're up here, can you roll over? Is there enough space? Because it is quite the gap between here and here.
If you really wanted to, you could.
That's like nearly two.
What's up, my dudes?
Two.
2 surfer dudes. 2 Volkswagen Waves.
Yeah.
You could if you wanted to. I would probably be okay with it because I don't really get claustrophobic.
Right.
So you could have the bottom bunk, I suppose, and then if I broke up here, Dad could fight with me as opposed to fighting with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what we predominantly use up here for is storage. It's very, very handy when there are just 2 people going away. You just throw your stuff up here and then you can flip it back up and the stuff won't fall off when you jam on the brakes. You also have a light up here. Why was that?
No,
So
just
funny.
Trying to like hold off a cough. So it didn't.
Well, that's going to have to stay. Then if you don't want the light or whatever, you can blind
You
them
can
off
just,
like that.
just close it up.
Yeah. We also have just the net, so you can open it and flies won't get in.
That's very, very thoughtful.
Isn't it?
They thought of flies and light up here.
Yeah.
And air.
And up here, you would have one of them that will pull across here.
Broke.
But
Broke.
somebody broke it.
But that's okay.
Here, look, we all break things sometimes. It's whether we own up to our parents that we did it or not.
Correct.
That makes the difference. And as far as he knows, he did it.
Lovely.
Let's get down. Now, that's the kids dealt with.
They're up there, are they?
Bang. Now, here's something we actually only discovered this morning or yesterday by accident.
Right.
Jen was in it and she was leaning like that. She had her back against it and it kept moving. She was like, that's so annoying. And I just realised, hang on a minute. It's another storage cubby.
Oh.
So in here, Dad has put the likes of toilet rolls and cup holders and tin foil and like cooking utensils in here.
Yeah. Because this fan actually does have a cooker, doesn't it?
It does. We'll get to
Cooker.
that. Get that fucking cooker on. So yeah, you have another blind here. Same, you have the mesh and you have the blind.
Yeah, the theme is kept constant, which is quite nice.
Yes. And here's something I literally just discovered, which is really, really annoying.
Yeah.
I was sitting all the time using the sink when we were away and I was like, this doesn't stay up. And it was really annoying. I just noticed.
There's a catch for it.
There's a bloody catch. There's always a catch.
Catch 22 million.
Yep, so that brings us on to what is here and has just been nicely cleaned with bleach and stuff, which my ones I don't think I've done for many years, so it's about time I got a good clean.
Lovely.
This is the sink.
Oh, proper sink and everything.
Yeah, proper full-on sink. So on the outside, which we'll show you when we do the tour outside, there's a key which is missing, although Dad might have it somewhere.
Right.
And it opens a flap and you can pour water straight in from like one of those.
Oh, it's got a tank.
Yeah, it's got a tank.
Yeah.
So what you would do is you would put the catch on,
Look at that.
which I didn't know about. I'm actually so annoyed because it was really, really annoying. I thought there's bound to be a way that this stays up. And there you have it. So this is a fully up sink. And that is how you would turn the water on. Now there's currently no water in it. What
Yeah.
you're probably wondering is, how does that work?
Is there a pump?
There is a pump.
Lovely.
You're a great cameraman, you get all the right questions. Over here is our control unit.
Yeah.
Now, this control unit does multiple things. Not
Looks
all of them
very,
are
very
dated. Very, very caravan.
Yeah.
Very took a caravan to like Oxygen or Glastonbury and left it there.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get when I look at this. So, let's give you a quick tour. Here's your fuse box for our fuses.
All 10 amps.
All 10 amps. Everything in the world is 10 amps. If it needs more than 10 amps, you don't need it. That's how it works.
Glow plugs.
You don't need them. See,
Yeah,
if, you're,
true,
if you're the TDI, Connor, you wouldn't need them because they're so efficiently run.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is the master switch for turning all of this on.
Okay.
So that's it turned on. You will hear the pump. It's pumping, but there's no water. So probably bad for it. I probably shouldn't do that. But underneath you have this pump.
Oh yeah, there
You
it
can hear
goes.
it running, which then would allow your tap to work. Under here we have 12-volt socket. Now that is for this one here,
Oof, the sig lighter.
the Siggy lighter. So you can have that on or off. We'd probably best leave it turned off just in case. So I don't stick my finger in and go, ah! But yeah, that means you can run any 12-volt stuff back here. I think it's mainly designed so that you can put your 12-volt TV in here.
Oh, those are the days.
Because if you look here, there's an aerial socket,
Yeah.
which goes to the UFO-shaped socket on the roof.
On the roof.
Yeah, this is a 240-volt plug. So when you go to a camping site and you plug it in with the cable, that's how you would run your normal plug. And I believe there's an extension lead under there, so that's how they would, or we would, charge all of your devices.
Right.
Lastly, up here, this is your tank level for the water.
Yeah.
So you know how much is in it. You would push the button in and it tells you how much is
It's
in
one
it.
of those. It's one of those push to read bios.
Yes, and it actually works. I'm amazed.
That says there's water in that tank.
It does say there's water in that tank.
Should we try it?
I wonder, do you have to let it fill it up?
No, if it's pumping, it should. No.
Anyway, that's how that would happen. It also gives you an indicator on the battery. The way this one works, you may have noticed when we looked in the engine bay, there are actually 2 batteries in the engine bay.
One for leisure and one for pleasure.
No, this one doesn't have a separate leisure battery.
No.
Nope. So the 2 batteries are actually in the front and they work in parallel to give one really high power 12 volt battery. Or they work in series.
I was going to say, series.
One or the other.
Your dad's a technology teacher.
Yeah.
Up to last week.
And I got an A star. Guess how much work I actually did. Yeah, so that's how that works. So there isn't actually a leisure battery in this. So you do have to be mindful of using up all of the electricity. In a camper van with a leisure battery, say, if you use your lights all night and they run out, you'd be like, oh well, turn the van on, charge the battery.
Yeah.
In this, if you're on the batteries out, you've really screwed yourself over and you need to charge the battery, otherwise you're screwed. Or jump start it or whatever. So it is just something to be mindful of. There is a split charge relay that will change the charge from one battery to the other, same as like in any other thing.
All right.
But yes, and this will also tell you if you have your fridge on battery power when you turn the van on.
There's a fridge as well.
Yes, but we'll get to that. Lastly, now this one doesn't work because I tried to use this during our Building a TDI in a Weekend video series in the middle of winter.
Is that the ship propeller? Makes it amphibious.
Yeah, like the T25 in Top Gear. Yeah. No, this would be your night heater if it worked. Now it might actually work, and it could be a case of the gas wasn't working.
Could be.
Because at the time I didn't really know what I was doing and didn't want to mess about with the gas or anything, whereas now I do. So it could be it does work, but who knows? So that would adjust how much heat you want, and that's on or off. And the vents for it are here.
All right, okay.
So what happens is you pull the rock and roll bed out, you'd be sleeping for the night, you're cold, turn the heater on, the heat comes out under the rock and roll bed because obviously heat rises.
Give me some fumes.
Yes, so that gets rid, well, so that gets rid of the cold air at the bottom of the van and brings it straight to the top. So that is all of the controls up here.
Yeah.
You might be wondering what the hell this thing is here on the floor.
They probably won't because I don't think I'd looked at it before. But now they are.
Now they're wondering. So this is where you would put your table. Doesn't look like much, I know, but see that for a quick move there? Do you like that? That was some Jackie Chan stuff there. Under here we have a cupboard drawer thing.
Full of beds.
Full of beds.
Full of
Yeah,
tables.
it's actually full of beds. This is the aforementioned extension lead.
Lovely.
Dad, for some reason, put his initials on it. I don't know why. Was he expecting somebody to steal it from his van?
Maybe.
That'll teach them. But here we have one of the tables, but we'll get into that. And then we have
Some BBQs.
a barbecue, yes, and then we have Alan's big pole.
Lovely.
So the big pole goes in here. Lovely. YouTube poop. And behind the driver's seat, we have the table. The table can go here, slide it around, and then when you need to get out, you can slide it so you can get out
So
easily.
does it lock? Oh no, it just slides.
Just slides on it so that you can get in and out nice and easily.
And that's good and sturdy as well. You wouldn't actually, one single pole for a table looks like it would be really shit, but
Yeah, no, I've never thought about that, but yeah, that is a good point. It is remarkably stable for what it is, I guess.
yeah.
Nice and easy to put away. You just jiggle it off again. Pull out, table back behind the seat. So there you go. Happens us all.
Yep.
Put the broken trim piece back. Say nothing. Put the cap back in there. Get this out. That goes in there. However, you will notice that I took a second table out of there.
You did.
And it's my favorite table of them all. That's also broken and hanging off. Check this out. Y'all ready for this?
Is this the Grand Funk Railroad? Oh, Captain, my captain's chair.
What? Swivel seat. But if you are living the van life like I was, like a true millennial when we were in Donegal and you took your MacBook Pro out so you could do some
Mac tonight.
savvy work, Mac tonight, you got a second pole because you can tell her, yes, sometimes they should be bent.
Okay.
Goes in there, screws in place so you can keep it locked in one place, or you can leave it slightly loose so you can move it around.
Tray table.
That's right. That's some job, boy. So you can sit here doing your...
And be a wage slave wherever you are.
Yeah. Because there's no place too remote to be part of the system. But yes, that is probably my favourite part of it. I used this basically the entire time we were away in Donegal there. It's just really comfy. And being able to adjust the seat and then having the radio like right there, so you can adjust the radio whenever you want.
Sit and
You can put your arm out here, just vibe. That's what it feels like.
Yep.
And then just jiggle that off. This one's going to be much more successful than the last one.
Oh, it's under my feet.
And then you move your legs. You mentalist. Set that.
Factor 50 plus.
Yeah, there were gingers in my family, like.
Yeah, true.
Bada bing, bada boom, gone.
Lovely.
Now, the sink, gone. Let's get rid of that.
So I suppose if you had bottled water, you could wash something in there even if the water was off or empty.
Or even better, you do what we did.
Piss in it.
No, just to clarify, no. The van has a 10-litre drum in the wee container I'll show you afterwards that we used. But really for washing stuff, you should have boiled water just to sterilise it.
Yeah.
So what you would do is, you'd have your sink sitting there open that I just closed, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh no, but I need hot water. Oh, it's not going to clean all my germs. Not a bother, pal, because we got a goddamn cooker right here, son.
Oh, so you can just cook the water.
You cook the water. Get rid of the chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
So much chrome.
So much chrome, and I forgot to clean it actually.
Single hob.
I forgot to clean it.
Two hobs.
I forgot to clean it. So there's two hobs, right? But then you flip this down.
Oh, a grill.
There's a grill.
For grilled cheese.
Yeah, we were grilling constantly. It was class. We were grilling sausages and bacon and all the rest. Scampi, grilled scampi on it.
Nice, very beach.
It was awesome. Killybeg scampi. Fresh, straight into there.
Fish.
Ciao Bella, whoever she is. So yeah, that's your cooker. Get that fucking cooker on.
Cooker.
So, and then it has all these reflective things to stop the flames going everywhere and stuff, which is quite nice.
That's how that works. Flames get reflected by shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's why engine bays have like
Shiny.
chrome in them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why engines are made of aluminium, because it's shiny.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with weight.
No.
Now, under here,
Frig.
we'll come back a wee bit.
Oh, we'll come back, will we?
So, sink. Underneath of the sink.
Oh yeah, handy storage space.
Utensils.
Ooh.
Isn't that good? That was good, isn't it? Then we have fairy liquid, which we didn't get using, so that's going to come into the house now.
Lovely.
Let's just leave that there so we remember it. Then you have your... Now, I've turned the gas off, so I'm not going to demonstrate the hob.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
would have
you
one of
gas on
these.
and then light it.
Yeah, and then light it from this. Because it doesn't have one of those electric
Igniters.
spark things, yeah.
Doesn't have a spark plug.
It doesn't have a spark plug, yeah. Under here, we've got more storage. So that's where we keep like of your
King
pot
pot.
noodles and King Pot. Well, Pat. Not that we're sponsored by Pot Noodle or anything.
Other brands of instant noodles are available.
Yes. If you're a swine. So yeah, they all have these simple push button setups. They're very common in camper vans and caravans of the time. I don't know what system they use nowadays, but hey ho.
Yeah.
Under here, more storage once again. That looks to be like a fuse box of some kind.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that would be for the 240 volt, sure, of course it is. Now here you can turn off your gas remotely without having to go out to the back of the van.
Oh, good.
Whereas I've just went out to the back of the van and done it every time just to be sure.
Yeah.
There's also instructions regarding them all and that. Oh, the next recommended date of inspection on our gas system.
Which century was it?
7th of the 10th, 2002.
Ooh.
So 2 years after it's put in. Guarantee that was not done. Under here is the pièce de résistance.
Go on.
You got a shitter.
The Porta Potty 335.
Oh, I shouldn't have opened that.
Dear me.
We never use this ever. Sooner going to the hedge.
No, you just use the sink.
As aforementioned, yeah. No, we never use this, so I'm just going to put that back, but
Ooh,
that should flush it.
that's an awful noise.
I think it's done its own business there. But realistically, if you didn't want one of these, which we never, you'd need to be really caught short. It would need to be absolutely pissing it down outside, and you'd need to be like so close with the other person.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to use it while the other person was in the van, really, would you?
Yeah, because there's not a lot of room for them to clear off to.
No.
So,
There
yeah.
you go, the Thetford Porta Potty 335.
Never gonna use it. But that would be another bit of storage space if you didn't want to use that.
Yeah.
If you knew for a fact you'd never ever need it,
Yeah.
which I don't, but can be too careful. So this is the fridge.
Yes.
Now the fridge has 3 levels of operating.
Right.
You can go gas, which is what you would put on for it overnight if you're wild camping like we were. One
Yeah.
single wee flame in the bottom corner. You can see it come on, so you know when it's
Alright.
working. It has an electronic igniter.
Yeah.
So you flick the switch and here going, and then you would hold the gas in, but obviously we had the gas turned off, so there's going to be no gas.
Yeah.
Over here, the green switch is for whenever you are on a camping site, and it's going to run off the 240 volt.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's your varying levels of how cold you want it to be.
Yeah.
That one there is ridiculously wet because I washed the van and there's vents where that comes out.
Oh, yeah.
So it kind of seeps in, unfortunately. And this one here is for the battery power. So when you turn the van on and you're driving,
You can put it on the
that'll
battery.
keep the fridge cold, and the wee light will come on the auxiliary switchboard thing to let you know, and you can see it in your mirror so you know the fridge is working.
Nice.
This is very handy. And inside the fridge, which is what you all want to see, this system is very annoying.
Is that a lock?
Yeah, it's quite, like it's a common style of lock for these fridges, but it's a very, very short wee snib. You could do with a bit more leverage or something on it. Like
Yeah.
you could do with that coming up and over or something.
Yeah.
But you push in the green tab, and then that shoots up, and then you have your fridge.
Oh, yeah.
Now I did just clean this out with bleach and all. The yellowiness you're seeing is actually like the white
Yeah.
plastic wearing through.
Oh, yeah.
So it's originally like a yellowy plastic. But in there you can see that pilot hole there is where you would see
Yeah.
the flame, so you know it's lighting. And then up in here you have a freezer,
Oh,
and it gets stupid cold.
silly cold.
Like
Silly Billy
ice
cold.
cold. What's cooler than cool? Like ice cold. And then you can take these off and adjust them into the different steps to see, depending on what you want to put in.
Nice.
Clunk. Next up we have up here. Now in your average like camper van, that's a big coach built one that's got the big body on the back.
You might
The
sleep
bit-
up there.
Yeah, the bit that comes up the top would go all the way out to here, and this is where the sleeping compartment would be. But in this, because there's not that much room, this is where you would put that's where we put the likes of your sleeping equipment, like your blankets and pillows and all.
Yeah.
We have found it takes a large double sleeping blanket, a large double duvet from the house, 4 pillows, and then towels and stuff as well. So you'd be amazed how
good.
much you
Yeah,
can
it's
actually
good
fit
amount
up
of
there.
space.
You're squishing it in, but it will fit.
Yeah.
And then the way the latch works is you would just lift that wee slide off, and then that pops back in.
Lovely stuff.
Push button, chopped up. As for lighting, there are 3 of these bios here, one above your head, and one here. The bulb seems to be gone, and oh, it is working in this.
Is
Okay.
it gone in this one?
Maybe it's gone. No, it's working in that one. Right, that one didn't want to work for us the other night. No idea why.
Alright.
But that's your lighting. Now, Dad has also put an extra one in here
Oh, yeah.
because when you're lying in the bed part, this usually would be your headboard at the back. So we put this light in so you can read.
Lovely.
So
Lovely
that's
stuff.
yeah, that's basically it for the living quarters. We'll go to the back, and then I'll show you a quick tour of the front because I mean, realistically, that's the same as any T4 van.
Yeah.
But let's have a look at the back. Before we head to the back, I'll just show you under here. Now, what you can see here is the pipe. So when
Yeah.
you use the sink and the water goes down the plug hole, that's where it comes out and then runs onto the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you know, because somebody was asking about that the other day. I was like, where does the water come out?
Where does it go?
And I wasn't sure, so
It just disappears.
it's just not possible. So back here we have our rear wiper as per standard fit. Also of note is our
Martini.
choice is the Martini colour scheme. When this van originally came out, it would have had the Rothmans colours,
Now, was that factory or was that just the coach builder did that?
That was the coach builder did that. They went for the Rothman stripes, but unfortunately over time they had all just started to wear away and peel off. They were old school stripes, so they were like one layer of blue, then each layer of white and a layer of gold, and they just kept peeling off. We got them remade by Extremely Graphic and Katie, and I said to him, you should go for Martini colours instead of Rothmans, and now is the time to do it. And to be fair, it has made the van so unique. I've never seen another one in Martini colours.
Yeah.
And we don't shout too much about Martini. There's literally just Martini Racing there, and that's it.
Yeah.
So all the factory stripes were redone in the same shape, same style. It's just the colours have changed. So this is how the van would have looked, just with a different colour scheme.
Yeah.
Now in here, in the tailgate, we don't have barn doors. We have a hatchback. Blessing and a curse, I suppose. It depends on what you prefer. This is a cumbersome boot, and because we use this as a daily and a tow van, more importantly, that Dad uses it to tow things all the time, that can catch off the trailer.
Yeah.
So if you are going to be towing something with this, just bear that in mind. Well, you won't be towing it with this because this is ours, but you know. So this is the back of the rock and roll bed. So that would actually sink down in a bit better than that. So under here you have a bit of storage space if you like. Yeah. But just be worried that, you know, on daily use, Dad would keep the toolbox here.
Yeah.
But if it's going to be used for camping, you would take it out so the bed can still close properly. This is all just pure storage space as well. So we have a tow rope, bungee cords, that type of thing. We also have some mats for if you get it stuck.
Oh yeah, on the beach.
Yeah, you can
handy
stick
to
it
have
on and get her out. Yeah, for when Chris Ray takes it onto the beach. Doo-doo. Right, in here is the LPG. As you can tell by the big sticker. No, there's not a big dent there. My dad would be awful keen on just sticking big LPG stickers on wherever there's dents. But there actually is LPG in here. So it only takes the small bottles.
Right.
Another useful tip is Dad just left an adjustable spanner in here so you can always change the gas if you need to without tools. Yeah. Well, that is a tool, but you know what I mean. It takes 2 bottles. There's the bottle actually in use at the back.
And a spare.
Just plugged in, and then this is the spare for when you run out.
Handy.
So we've always just kept 2 in there just in case.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the safest, but that's what we've done.
That'd be grand.
And it's silver there for shiny.
Yep.
Because as we said, it reflects the
LPG.
keeps it all encapsulated in there.
Keeps it good.
So if you want to blow our van up, just to imagine. Bang. Now, in here is a little storage cubby. You could use this for hanging up like wetsuits or wet clothes or whatever.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really deep.
Whoa.
So that also is your aerial controls in there.
Yes, for your maxi view.
Yes, and there is a curtain pole up there for you to hang your clothes from if you want to. And then...
Because all the way down there's some cycling helmets.
Cycling helmets, some bungee cords for when the missus won't shut up. And or whatever else you're into, I guess. And that is our 10-litre water drum thing, which you got, which has the wee spout at the bottom, and you just fill it up before you go away. Because the 9-litre wasn't really working, he also had this that he would have plugged into the rear cigarette lighter port. One last cool thing in here is, if you come look here, there's a wee access to the latch, so you can open the boot from the bed if you want to.
If you get trapped.
Yeah, if you get trapped. I think that's law now, isn't it? You have to have an access to get out.
Yeah.
The Ford Mustang had that in 2005, and I think that was the start of it.
Nice.
I think. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong, realistically. But one thing we did redo from factory, this thing had 3 mooses, whatever.
Yeah.
Mices of moose and men on top. We didn't really care for it that much, so I designed up the evolution of van, which has a splitty, a bay window, a Type 25, and then the Big Daddy T4. Yeah. Some people like that, some people don't. I don't really care what you think.
Nice.
So lastly, we'll have a look at the cockpit, because that's where you'll spend a lot of your time in this thing, because it's so slow, it's going to take you a long time to get anywhere.
Nice.
But let's have a look. One other thing I actually forgot about, because we never really use it, because we don't get the weather for it here in Ireland, is this lovely big pole. It's an extender, if you talk to it the right way.
Lovely.
But what this is for is the awning, which you slot it into there up top, and then drop it out and hit your dad's paintwork.
Yeah.
And then the awning pops out.
Look at that.
Oh, it is really keen on coming out. That's the only problem with it. Now, I'm pretty sure
Is there support stays for it or something?
there's legs or something come out for it.
Yeah, there must be. Unless are they stored elsewhere?
I don't really know. I've never used this before personally.
Yeah.
It could just be that it's a bit like a brick shit house, and that's...
Nah, it's sitting too low there. I think.
It is, isn't it? It's really low. It should probably be uprightly.
And I think that can extend an extra until that's straight nearly.
Yeah, it'll extend till it's straight.
So that's a big old space.
It's a big one, like. But it has it. We never use it. I'm afraid to take it out now but I just know if I don't put it into the video, somebody will mention the fact that we didn't mention it, or my dad will say, why didn't you show them the onion? The onion's class. So I guess I'll just put that away. And I'm really, really quick at doing it. I'm getting carpet burns in my hands.
Nice.
Oh. But yeah.
Yeah, and the paintwork again there.
No, well, don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to edit that out. Right, would you? Don't do this to me on camera. What have I done? There we go.
What have I done?
Nice and simple. So then he just puts that along there. There's probably a better place for it, but
Works.
it works. Now, as I said, lastly, onto the cockpit. So it's all business up the front as per every Volkswagen T4 really. It feels like a low top at the front because with having the big cubby above, there's still only short or like low roof headroom.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not the worst. It's typical two sun visors. This is something he added in himself. It used to just have one big light.
Yeah.
But he went for the one with the map light so that,
Yeah.
because they lived in the past and still used maps at one point.
Fair play.
But now they've got phones, so they don't bother. But what they do have is this, so now they don't use anything. This is a aftermarket head unit that I have fitted. We are waiting on a surround because it's a custom fit. You have to shave down the heater controls.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these don't really want to take a doubled in. Doubled in is a radio that takes up twice the space of your average radio.
2x in.
2x in. A standard radio is single in, blah, blah, blah. Now the T4's dash support, the big metal bar goes across here and is under where the radio is. So there isn't actually room for a doubled in head unit. But how we got around this is there is a Sony head unit, which I've used numerous times before, that is a single din at the back, but comes down into a double din, which means on a T4, it conveniently misses the dash bar, which means you can have a double din. And this has CarPlay, DAB, reversing camera, everything you want. It's got it all. So usually what we would do is plug in the phone, plug the phone in there, and then you've got your CarPlay on the dash for your sat nav and everything else on your CarPlay. And then dabbing has just put a manual switch to it so you can turn it on or off because he wants to be able to listen to his music when the car is off, which I suppose is fair enough.
Yeah.
Now it also has Bluetooth hands-free, and because I hate having the cables all up and around here and taking all that off to fit it and having a big ugly thing on the sun visor, which he still has there anyway,
Yeah.
I decided to take one of the dash blanks out, drill a hole in it, and fit the microphone into the dash blank, so it actually looks like it's
tighter.
yeah, it looks like it's meant to be there. I'll be doing the same to my Mark II as well. In fact, I did it to my blue Mark II already. Then you just have your standard ashtray, which for some reason he has a none in.
Nice.
No idea why, but it's there. Heater controls and so on and so forth. It really is just standard affair up here with the T4.
Yeah.
He's had a cup holders here, which are great because Volkswagen at this time didn't really care for cup holders.
German companies didn't at all.
They didn't. You could get a big center console thing that would go here.
Yeah.
That some people make and have cup holders on, but it's also very nice to be able to swing your legs out.
Yeah.
When you've been driving this for a long time and you've got dodgy knees like I do, it's nice to be able to kick your legs out to the side and straighten them. But yeah, as you can see in the clock, she's 91,741 miles, which is so little for a T4, especially when it's in daily use. I think it was only on like 80,000 when we got it.
So it's not done that
It's
many,
bound to be
really.
less actually, because there's no way he's only done 10,000 miles in it.
No.
Because we've done a lot of towing in this thing. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of towing, a lot of camping, like, so it gets a lot of use, and that is probably why it's as good as it is. Downsides could really benefit from a respray. Years of daily drivership has not rendered it pleasurable to thine eye. But it's really hard to get somebody who can paint a high roof van.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
spray booths, I suppose.
Yeah, because we'd get Mark to do it. That would be our first choice, but he can't take a high top van as tall as this. It's stupidly tall. It just won't fit in the doors.
Yeah.
And anybody else we've asked has been like, I don't have the room to do that. Granted, we haven't asked anybody in a couple of years now, but that was the case.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody who can
Spray high
hit
tops.
us up, we'll give you some publicity if you want to do it nice and cheap. But yeah, it's one of those vans that doesn't need like a lot of body work. starting to get a tiny wee bit dog-eared, but it's been kept on top of, so it's not rotten. It's just corners of things. It's where stone chips have got it and have started to rust, that sort of way. But on the whole, it is an absolutely fantastic van, and you couldn't ask for more, except the turbo. So that has been our overview of our Volkswagen T4. Now this van has had many a flash on the road because so many people have recognised the van from the amount of pictures that we've put up of it towing things, or it's been in the background of videos, and there's just not very many T4s out there with martini stripes on them, so it's a very, very recognisable van. Is the van life for you? Well, that's just something you're going to have to try and find out. Some people love it and wouldn't do anything else. Some people have even given up their homes to live in camper vans, which I think is a little bit
extreme.
Like, just rent somewhere and barely be there. Don't get rid of your home for it. Like, but then again, not everybody's doing it in a short wheelbase camper van with no bathroom and only a pull-out bed. So you know, it's down to your circumstances, I guess. But I have to say, after a weekend away in Donegal, driving in this thing, the beauty of this thing is that it's not one of the big coach-built ones. We were going down the shittiest, tiniest wee roads into the middle of nowhere and weren't worried about meeting other cars because we were in something the size of a car. We went to places that other people just couldn't have camped. This is that Ma and Dad themselves couldn't have went to in their full-on camper van because it just would have been too big. Physically couldn't have went down the roads we went down. And again, bulletproof reliability of a Volkswagen, and well, as long as you can put up with how slow it is, it's not the worst on fuel. When you think about it, we did 500 odd mile trip to Donegal, stayed 3 nights, and fuel I think cost us about £70.
That's not bad.
Go and find a hotel room for £70.
It's 2022.
It's 2022, not gonna happen.
No.
Not gonna happen. So you'll just have to try the van life for you, but hopefully if you have a T4 and you're doing it up, this is maybe giving you some motivation. If you've seen us towing things in this and just always wanted to see what it's like, maybe you're part of the tiny minority that went to my high school and saw Dad broadcasting on Sports Day out of this van and you always wondered what it was like inside. Well, here's been your tour. So if you've enjoyed this video and want to see more of the T4 or want to hear about our adventures in the T4 when we go on them, let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel as always, and if you've enjoyed it, let us know. I've been Tomo.Patterson. Behind the camera has been
Hughes Corporation.
And follow us on Insta at those handles, and we'll see you in the next one. Good luck.
Good luck.